It's not every day that we have athletes, creators, entrepreneurs, and innovators in one roof.
They were doing things they didn't know. I mean, it was all based on sense of touch, feel.
These devices help you to track like if your heart is healthy, if your
But I do use a lot of biofeedback. AI will be helping you a certain level. So the coach knows this कि अगर इसको इससे बाहर पुश किया, इस कंफर्ट जोन से इसको बाहर निकाला गया, then he break out.
He now focuses on building scalable wellness solutions and platforms like Utopia 2025 that bridge science, community, and conscious living. Done. Welcome.
Thank you.
Awesome. Next, we have driving India's fitness infrastructure at Viva Fitness. She blends strategy and storytelling to reshape gym and ecosystems nationwide. Please welcome brand builder and change maker Shivani Singh. Shivani, आ जाओ, कहाँ पे हो? Awesome. 1 second. We have, sorry, बहुत सारा कागज हो गया इधर. Sorry दोस्तों, एक second. We have a doctor, an athlete, a content creator, multiple awards in natural and enhanced federations. Please welcome Dr. Vegas Singh. Where are you? Come, sir. A performance physiotherapist trusted by elite athletes. She blends kinesiotaping, acupuncture, and recovery science. Kinesiotaping. Please welcome the healing force, Dr. Khyati Sharma. आ जाइए. Next, we have a Gen Z fitness voice whose raw, real transformation stories resonate with every aspiring lifter. Please welcome the face of relatable grit, Ayush Raj. कहाँ पे हो Ayush? Wow. Next, we have natural bodybuilding champion and the original Mr. Biceps. He stands for aesthetics earned with integrity. Please welcome the lifetime natural icon Tushar Uppal. Tushar is not here. वो कहीं bodybuilding कर रहे हैं. We have a calm, precise posing coach who transforms athletes into stage-ready contenders with surgical detail. Please welcome the quiet force behind polished champions, Somnath Shah. Somnath is here. What a body, bro. Very nice. Okay. Combining strength, nutrition, and mindfulness, she's leading a new wave of holistic, sustainable fitness. Please welcome a wellness educator, Arjun Shah. आ जाइए. I'll hand over the mic to Ripunjay to moderate this panel. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vishwa. I think this was a panel that everybody is talking about. कि ये इतना बड़ा panel है. Please, Arsi. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Utopia 2025. It's not every day that we have athletes, creators, entrepreneurs, and innovators in one roof to discuss the most exciting frontier of human health, the engineering of body for performance. It's not just a topic, it's personal. I started out as a biomedical engineer, where I not only studied about reps and routines, but also about circuits, diagram, and sensors. So when I see wearable tech, I don't see fads, I see what's coming next. Today, the exercises is not about how much weight you can lift or running faster. The entire scheme of things are being redefined. Biomechanics is into play. So in this session, we'll deep dive into how tech, design, and science are coming together to design or redefine the entire idea of being an athlete. Let's have a round of applause for our panelists here. So let's start with my first question. I think I'll start with Dr. Vegas. How has the understanding of exercises evolved in the last few decades from just working out to actually engineering better outcomes?
I feel it's everything right now because I mean, half my content is based on how people have been doing what they were doing, seeing people doing that, copying it, imitating it, expecting the same results. Even the greatest of greats back in the day, say 20 years from now or say 50 years back, they were doing things they didn't know. I mean, it was all based on sense of touch, feel. As simplest as breaking it down to the molecular level that, you know, every contraction of every rep of every exercise, as long as they were feeling it in that specific targeted muscle group, they thought it was right. But then a simple example of what we know right now. There's so many things that they didn't know back then, like CNS overload, something like when you're doing an exercise, our goal is to maximize output by minimizing the load on the CNS, central nervous system. So you're trying to isolate that specific muscle group without engaging the other muscles. Now, if you take this specific example back in the day, say 50 years back or 40 years back, they would just stick to those conventional exercises with those conventional machines with horrendous biomechanics and every exercise involving, say, 3 major muscle groups, 2 minor muscle groups. So I'd say we've evolved. We're really living up to the dream now. So, yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Very well said. Dr. Khyati, how about you?
First of all, thank you for having me here. Yes, biomechanics has significantly changed the thought process of people regarding injury prevention because I'm from sports background, like I work with sports teams. So I would emphasize more on that, like how you can prevent injury with that. We have IPS, which is Injury Prevention Survey, which is used by BCCI and NCF quite extensively now at all state association levels. So it actually helps us in analyzing body types and somebody who's going to have any injury. So it helps us in checking their, basically it all starts from the foot because I personally prefer checking the foot first, which is the root cause of main knee, hip and back issues. So yes, biomechanics has significantly changed how we think over a period of time. And yes, in last few decades, it has changed a lot. Like earlier, it was too tough to make people understand how we can actually use it in our daily, practices, or how ergonomically small changes can actually make your lifestyle a little better. And that is how it is. And now we have AI and many wearable devices like rings, trackers. So through that, you can monitor all your, whether you're recovering, which is a very integral part of, exercising. Because if you don't recover well, I don't think you're able to, utilize in your entire energy or your full range of muscles. So that is very, very important.
Sorry. Which is one of the, which is your favorite, let's say, wearable tech that you use to train athletes?
See, I don't train. I am mostly to rehab, but I do use a lot of biofeedback. Like I ask them, I'm into acupuncture as well. So I use electroacupuncture and I ask them, mostly it starts with a person tells you whenever they come with any injury or they have any issues, they would come. And it is basically if they have knee pain. So I personally check foot and hip as a first thing to do, because whenever they have knee pain, it would be because of some foot pain or some hip pain. It never is, the reason is never the knee. It may be something else. Once I had a patient, he had back pain. Okay, it's a very funny story. So I just told him to change his footwear. I sent him back. So the person who had recommended, he called him and said that she's an idiot. She doesn't know anything. And she just asked me to change footwear and she sent me back. I could have made a lot of money, would have called him for 20 sessions and cooling him. But then he called me after a month. He apologized. He actually had his foot inverted. I don't know if everyone will be, well versed with this term. It's like your foot, it can go in and out. That is the usual term. So his foot was actually inverted, both pronated rather. So he had this issue of back pain. So that is how biomechanics can help us. And through all those trackers now we can actually check that.
So diagnosis is the key.
What?
Diagnosis is the key.
Yes, definitely.
Got it. Got it. Let's move to Ayush. So we are seeing everything from wearable AI to AI posture correction tools to EMG training. In your opinion, which technologies are actually useful in real time?
अभी जैसे बहुत सारी डिवाइसेस आ गई हैं जो जिससे हम अपनी जो एक्टिविटीज़ हैं, जो एक्सरसाइजेस हैं, जैसे स्लीप को ट्रैक कर सकते हैं, एक्सरसाइजेस को ट्रैक कर सकते हैं. लेकिन अगर मैं अपनी जर्नी की बात करूँ, जैसे जो भी यहाँ पे बैठे हैं जिन्होंने 8 साल 10 साल पहले स्टार्ट किया है, तो शुरुआत के 2-3 साल तो हमें ऐसा पता ही नहीं होता था कि एक्सरसाइजेस में क्या करनी है. बहुत चीज़ें इवॉल्व हुई हैं और पहले इतना कुछ ऐसे डिवाइसेस भी नहीं, ऐसे हमें पता भी नहीं होता था कि हम ऐसे यूज़ करें तो उससे कैसे क्या रिज़ल्ट मिलेगा. लेकिन अभी अगर बात करें तो जैसे एप्पल वॉच है, वो की डिवाइसेस है, बैंड्स है, तो उससे क्या है, आप अपनी रिकवरी अच्छे से ट्रैक कर सकते हो, एक्सरसाइज ट्रैक कर सकते हो. तो वो मुझे लगता है कि इतना एक्यूरेट नहीं है, लेकिन आप उससे बहुत हद तक जान सकते हो कि डेली आप कितना प्रोग्रेस कर रहे हो, आपकी कार्डियो ऑन पॉइंट है या नहीं है, आपकी स्लीप किस तरीके से हो रही है, आप एवरी वीक जो एक्सरसाइजेस परफॉर्म कर रहे हो, अपने गोल की तरफ आप डेली बढ़ रहे हो नहीं बढ़ रहे हो, तो वो एक बहुत हेल्पफुल चीज़ है।
ऐसा कोई टेक जो आप रियल टाइम पे यूज़ करते हो ऑन अ डेली बेसिस?
डेली बेसिस पे मैं अभी नॉर्मली एप्पल वॉच यूज़ करता हूँ टू ट्रैक माई कैलोरीज, कितने कैलोरीज मैं बर्न कर रहा हूँ, स्टेप्स कितना मैं कर रहा हूँ डेली का। बस सिंपल स्टेप्स है। अब जैसे जैसे मुझे 8 साल हो गया फिटनेस इंडस्ट्री में, मतलब बॉडी बिल्डिंग करते हुए, मैंने 4-5 कॉम्पिटिशन्स भी खेल रखे हैं। तो जैसे जैसे आपको एक्सपीरियंस हो जाता है तो आपको फिर उतना ऐसी ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ती। आपको जब आप उससे हट के कुछ अपने गोल को, और जैसे गोल की तरफ आगे बढ़ते हो, अब आप लिमिट के बियॉन्ड जाओगे, तब आपको थोड़ा सा हेल्प की ज़रूरत पड़ती है। अदरवाइज आप इतने एक्सपीरियंस्ड हो जाते हो कि आप पुश कर सकते हो अपने आप को और आगे बढ़ सकते हो।
Got it. Shivangi, how about you?
Okay, so I would like to continue what he said. Like he said ki Apple bands are there, Apple Watch are there. So Apple Watch are a very basic one. They are Garmin bands and Whoop is there, which tracks what is your performance, and especially when that today, if you are going to work out, what intense workout you should perform today, or is it can be your rest day. So I think with these devices we can track ki like the problem which can occur in future. We can know the imbalances earlier, like it can be a early detection for us. As for example, I can say if somebody is dealing with some kind of knee problem or some kind of heart problem, like you might be heard of ki somebody was dancing in the party and suddenly they fell because of the cardiac arrest or cardiovascular problem. But these devices help you to track, like if your heart is healthy, if your heart is in correct pattern and working it should, like how to work. So I think these are very good techniques and very good technologies. There are AI mirrors which is very good for the beginners, which are trying to make a body, or which are on very initial stage of their bodybuilding journey, so that they do not need a trainer. क्योंकि बहुत से ऐसे नए लोग होते हैं जो जिम जाते हैं और वो ढूंढते रहते हैं ट्रेनर को कि क्या मैं सही परफॉर्म कर रही हूँ, क्या मैं सही कर रही हूँ. तो आई थिंक AI mirrors are doing perfect job to make the posture correct, because if the posture will be correct, you will be very far from the injuries and problematic things which can happen. Kyunki I was also very much interested in doing gym workout, but it had lead me with the back problems and everything because of bad postures. So according to me, AI mirrors, which is, I don't know currently it is in Gurgaon or not, but definitely the mirror is in Bangalore, Bombay, and one I'm recalling EMC, electric muscle stimulation wearables are there. जिसमें they claim that in just 20-minute workout you can get 90 मतलब आपको रिजल्ट 90-minute वर्कआउट का मिलेगा. तो इससे ज़्यादा क्या चाहिए भाई टेक्नोलॉजी में कि आप 20 मिनट वर्कआउट कर रहे हो और आपको रिजल्ट 90 मिनट्स का मिल रहा है. तो अकॉर्डिंग टू मी, इफ these kind of wearables are there, I think nothing can beat it, and it can be a revolution to a fitness industry very well.
So basically, it's about smarter workouts.
Exactly.
On that note, Somnath, so do you think could we reach a point where AI and wearables can prescribe a day's training routine with more accuracy than human coaches?
In terms of data, collecting data is like how your heart zones are performing in different levels, or maybe sleep quality, or maybe stress level. Maybe yes. There is a maybe. The reason is it cannot be performed as a normal human coach. Reason being, let's say you are going through some sort of trauma. That time or that moment, the AI wearable will show that you are stressed, though in real the reasons are quite different. So that is when you need a human coach to approach it much efficiently, and there is lack of empathy, and AI cannot show you the empathy that you need. Sometimes you need a mental push where you exhale and beyond your imagination you do things. AI will be helping you a certain level where you will be reaching your maximum potential. But what about next? To reach the next level, you need some sort of guidance, which wearing a wearable, I'm not quite convinced how well it will go. Maybe mix of both in future will work much better. Like, let's say you're a beginner who started the journey without any knowledge, without a coach, with a program designed by AI for certain limit. Let's say 3 years you trained through AI, but after the 3 years your goals have changed. That is taking a different dynamics. At that point of time, you will require somebody who has already seen that level or seen that vision and that mental push. So I think that is when the human touch is lagging for AI wearable.
So basically, it will always be a mix of both, is what you are saying.
Absolutely. Like if you really want to approach your true potential, like right now I'm wearing a Samsung watch. Many people are wearing a Apple watch. Mostly all of us are wearing it just to count our step count, tracking that, or maybe approximate numbers of how much calorie we have burned, right? That is what we are doing. Now, when it comes to accuracy of these watches, I'm not quite convinced how accurate it is, right? There are some time when you do 10 steps, but it is showing you like 8 steps. Somewhere maybe the movement was a bit slow or maybe a bit faster. That's why it is not able to count it, right? Mostly we're doing it for that purpose right now. Maybe the greater ambition for wearing AI has not come yet, but probably in next upcoming 10 years, there might be more exoscale suit we're gonna use. I'm just saying more futuristic stuff where you'll understand more about your body, how each muscle, each fibers are stimulating, how it is responding well. But for that, there is a lot of time, lot of innovation has to go in, lot of R&D has to go in, and like we have to wait for it. But till then, I think it's a mix of both.
Makes sense. I think we are at that cusp of revolution where we will see definitely a lot of advancement in AI and wearable tech. What do you think, Arjun, about this?
What I is it working? Hello. What I think if considered about the coach and the diet part, I think AI cannot replace a coach, a human coach, because it's also about one knows about the mentee ki how motivated or what mindset he carries. So let's suppose somehow there is a mentee and he doesn't have that mindset. उसको पता है कि he is gonna break अगर उसको इस लेवल तक पुश किया गया तो. So the coach knows this कि अगर इसको इससे बाहर पुश किया, इससे अपने इसके कंफर्ट जोन से इसको बाहर निकाला गया, then he'll break out. And क्या पता he just stops his diet or goes for a cheat meal or a cheat day. So somehow that mental stress and what I feel the emotional connect of a coach and a mentee is really very important for a transformation to happen or a journey for a physical fitness. So
Makes
that's
sense. What do the audience think about it? Can we have a mic at the audience? Anyone? Can the AI replace human coaches? No? Okay. One last interesting question maybe. So let's suppose you are to design a gym in 2030 with no budget constraints. What would you think the design or the gym look like? Mind it, it's 2030. As you said, कि 5 साल 10 साल बाद बहुत कुछ ऐसा आ जाएगा जो कि शायद AI replace कर देगा, exoskeleton and stuff. Wearable tech would be much more advanced. What do you think the gym would look like? Anybody can answer. Yeah, please.
Okay, so one of my colleague is also here and he suggested me this answer. So he said कि I'll be setting a gym which will particular station, if it is a leg station, there will be a AI attached to it. There will be a screen which will detect your face, and then then the machine will unlock, and then you will start training. There will be an online trainer available on the machine, and then you will start training. So it will be very easy to operate the gym. Ki single station doesn't have a particular trainer to it, and the training will be more easier, because this problem occurs with the women who are very much in the beginning of their training, and they go and they keep on asking the trainers ki please मुझे ये बता दो, please मुझे वो बता दो. So it will be a very good thing to attach a AI with a strength station, and specifically with the plate loaded machines, because I would like to talk about biomechanics more. So previously there were all the bodybuilders uses plate loaded machine, just because the load of the machine, the load of the the plates were on the both of the side of the machine. जो आपका weight होता था वो equal divide होता था, तो उस हिसाब से आपको injury कम होती थी, आपको load कम पड़ता था. But nowadays selectorized stations are there which all of the gyms are using. But when you will see outside of the country, there are the gyms, big gyms, who are investing in plate loaded machines just to maintain the biomechanics, so that the weight could be on both of the sides and it should be equal, ताकि आपका वर्कआउट हार्ड ना हो, स्मूथ हो, और आप इक्वली जहाँ पे मसल पे स्ट्रेन पड़ना चाहिए वहाँ पे पड़े और आपको इंजरी कम हो. So these are the things which should come after 10 years in the fitness industry. It will be a very big thing if plate loaded machines or a selectorized station जिसमें AI हो, तो वो बहुत ही ज़्यादा इस इंडस्ट्री को ऊपर ले जा सकता है. So I think it will be a very good thing, but still I say AI will never replace a coach which train us actually.
Okay. How about you?
I'm just going to go back to what the conversation was over there. First of all, us humans, we never understand moderation. It's always either of the extremes. या तो सब कुछ चाहिए या कुछ नहीं करना है, you know. So AI, according to me, one man's opinion, we're getting too dependent on it. People are getting weak. People don't want to go to the gym. People want easy access. Like ma'am just explained, you want to do a 90-minute workout in a 20-minute session. It's just not okay. So you're expecting a 90-minute workout in a 20-minute session, and you're expecting to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm sorry, that can't happen, right? So I feel our dependability on AI also should be moderated at the end of the day by a human being. Us wanting everything at our fingertips is not working for us. It's not. Obesity is at an all-time high right now. People don't want to get out of their houses. Okay, I'm going off topic, but coming back to the topic, if I had X or infinity amount of money to build a gym, first of all, the only time I would even consider AI would be in terms of safety. I'd like to add to ma'am, like biomechanics, proper range of motion, good machines. But everything else should be, we need to get back to the human touch. We need to get back to emotions. We need to get back to what we feel as human beings, and not being reliant on machines for everything. I mean, I'm holding a machine. I'm surrounded by a machine. I'm wearing a machine, I'm being able to talk because I'm holding a machine in my hand. So I feel AI needs to be restricted just to the safety of human beings. Also, if it's in everything else, anything else except safety, it should be in moderation and should be controlled. So yeah,
I think the feelings are important.
Always.
Any of you want to take this question?
I would like to add what she mentioned about preventive measures. Like you can add some holistic part to it, and there should be an open area in the gym so that people are out of ACs, which has become a necessity today. So I feel some area where they can rejuvenate, they can actually go out and breathe in some fresh air. And regarding the preventive measures, I feel use of kinesiotaping, as I was introduced with. It is a very important tool. It was introduced in 1978 by Dr. Kenzo Kase. I proudly say that I'm the first kinesiotaping practitioner in India. I had to go to Singapore to do it because earlier there was no practitioner or instructor to teach that. So it was introduced long back, but Americans, as they are, they actually got the patent in 1992 and before the Barcelona Olympics. And the person is Japanese, but he was given a good amount of land. So he built his headquarter there. So this is one thing which should be included in the gym area. And as he said earlier, the biomechanics was working on more group of muscles. It was not about individual muscles. But now, thanks to all those electrodes, as she was mentioning, the 90 minutes workout in 20 minutes, yes, it is possible. It is more of acupuncture, electroacupuncture. That's what I practice. So I get athletes who come to me before the matches, about 12 hours before, and they would ask me to needle the important areas. And if they have weak quadriceps, they come to me and I poke some, trigger points, and I put electrodes over it, crocodile electrodes, and they feel muscles are being pumped up and they're match ready. So all these things are very, very important. I just wanted to put it in Putzpa.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Start one line. Ma'am, rehab and hypertrophy are two different things. So I understand using a holistic approach more towards the medical sciences for rehab, but what I was trying to say was that if you need to achieve real hypertrophy, which is muscle cells. So hypertrophy is growing new muscle cells, right? So we are trying to grow new muscle cells, hypertrophy. So that needs the amount of time that is required. No amount of procedures will help you. But yes, when it comes to medical sciences, rehab, sports rehab, injuries, I have treated people myself. That yes, the bigger, the better, and the faster, the more secure, of course, definitely.
I think today it's all about training smarter, recovering better, and personalizing the performance down to neuron and every breath. Thank you everyone for being the part of this panel. A great insightful panel. Thank you guys.